Hello, quilters and chatters. Hey, Susan made it first. Hello, Susan. There's Sonia. Hi, sweetheart. So I guess Sonia is anxiously waiting for Jenny Byers' next clue. Sonia is going to be she's going to be the person that me and Aiko follow when we're trying to get caught up. I'm still dressing. Can you tell I was running a little behind? I went out this morning and did a little bit of gardening, and then I've had a hard time being creative today. There's Aiko. Hi, sweetheart. And I've been thinking of all of you. Been a little too busy. But Sonia, I am tickled that we have you to spur us on. I'm trying to put these cute little, what would you call them? These little tabs on the sleeves. Because, I always run hot. So I love shirts that have sleeves that you tie up. But anyway, I got my Mandevilla vine planted this morning. I got about 6 tomato plants planted. I always plant them, but I don't get enough sun to really get much in the way of tomatoes, but I'm always hopeful. Hello. So, what else did I get planted? Oh, I divided up a huge hosta, and I love plants that just keep giving and giving. So, and then Mark got some great shrubbery planted out front and some bushes cut back. With this pollen, it is hard for me to breathe. So it's hard to be outside and get work done and be able to breathe at the same time. Diane 57. You know who we're missing? She's always here right away. Now I've forgotten her name, but I'm missing her. So, hello, people. I'm back to eating my apple. I've got a doctor's appointment tomorrow, and I'm afraid she's going to find out that I haven't been good enough on my diet, and it just kind of lets me know I need to get better. I've been so busy, I kind of don't worry about it, but your body's going to tell you. So I have a feeling my blood sugar is going to be up a little, and I haven't lost much in the way of weight. So I find that living with type 2 diabetes, for me, is recommitting almost every day. Okay, Deb, you got to do this. It's your life. So, let me put my glasses on, see what we've got. Oh, Sonia, if you jump on it early, I was warned for 10 years. Your blood sugar's creeping up. You carry weight around your middle. Your father was type 2 diabetic. You're going to get it. And they warned me. And I was like, yeah, I'll worry about it another day. Well, but Sonia, just take good care of yourself and you'll avoid it. So, is Cheryl here? Hi, Cheryl. It was fun emailing you yesterday. It was so much fun. Does anyone here have arthritis? I have my osteoarthritis in my hands, and I have a new one coming up on both this knuckle of this little finger and this knuckle on this little finger. And right now, when I go to put my hand down on the hard surface, it feels like glass is being shoved in your hand. Oh, there were a couple times yesterday I was just about in tears. And so I started putting bandages on my hands to try to protect those joints. Once it calcifies, it won't hurt. But for right now, it hurts. So you notice I put the title of this Sunday's, the last of the April Whine, WHINE, because I feel like lately I'm just full of whining. Nadine is here. Oh, Nadine. Hi, sweetheart. And then Jean found us. Yay, Jean. You're on. And so anyway, I've got a few things to show you today. This is a pincushion. When I went to my November retreat, wonderful woman, Carol Hodges, wonderful woman, smart as a whip, really good with computers, science. Just really smart. And she does embroidery. She's just a Renaissance woman. She does a little bit of everything. But she did a make and take, and this is what she did. She used her embroidery machine to embroider bands like this, and then gave us circles for the top and the bottom, and then we sewed them together. I put walnut shells in the top and stuffing in the bottom. Cutest pincushion. The other day I got it out because I've got another little retreat coming. She's going to be there, and I want her to see that I value what she made. This spring, for the May retreat, I'm doing a make and take, and she's going to do another make and take. She often brings her AccuCutter so that people can use it. And most generous woman, and has the best laugh. When she's there and you hear her laugh, you can't help but be happy and smile. She's just one of those people. Her laugh is infectious. Bonnie's here. I was worried that we wouldn't have Bonnie. Oh, that's right. Bonnie probably did her proctoring on Saturday. Slow me. But in fact, Carol reminds me a little bit of Nadine, where they just have that bright, happy spirit that just makes you smile. And of course, you see Nadine's gorgeous quilt. That quilt just makes me so happy. My grandkids were like, a lady made that and gave it to you? They were so surprised. And I wish, let me see, I didn't take a picture of it. My grandson was here Sunday through Tuesday evening, and he made a Minecraft quilt. I thought, if I want him to sew and quilt, I've got to do something that is in his interest zone. And he loves Minecraft. And, yes, and I hit 1,000 subscribers. Last time I checked, it was like 1,006. So thank you, everybody. And I think it does work to hit the like, and everything gets the word out. And I haven't even had time. YouTube sent me a congratulations letter, had bananas all over it, said cool bananas. And I don't know what my next step is to do, but I will be looking and trying to figure that out. 1,008. Thank you, ladies. This is exciting. So that means pretty much I can continue to do live streams. I can continue to put videos. I won't be questioned or, nothing fishy, I think, can happen. I think we've proven we're here every week. We have videos. We do things of interest. We're here to stay. And thanks to you, you've made that happen. What happened to Bonnie? Oh, honey. Oh, you poor dear. This pollen's horrible. Every day I look, and when you have asthma or you're allergic, it makes you seriously ill. So Bonnie, please take it easy. People who don't have asthma can have an asthma attack. Please be careful. If you have too much of a problem, look into getting Flonase. Smells like hyacinth. I don't normally like to squirt anything up my nose, but if it helps, it helps. But Bonnie, you take good care of yourself, sweetheart. Patty Chamberlain is here. Yay! I have missed my Patty Chamberlain, and I was worried about her being sick. I'm so excited about the renovation she's doing to her house. So I'm so excited. Yeah, Susan, I'm with you. I've only ventured out in the last couple of days because somebody, I know what I was telling y'all. I went yesterday and bought plants from my favorite nursery. Well, Our safe planting date's supposed to be May 1st, but people, the last few summers, I mean, it's been the springs, it's been getting hotter and hotter. So people go earlier and earlier to buy plants, and we don't have that many plant nurseries around here. And so I get out early. But I knew, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, yesterday when I came home from the nursery, Mark's and my eyes burned because this pollen is horrible. Oh, and you know what? Benadryl will knock you out. My daughter uses it if she needs to sleep and she's a little tense. So I'm sure that Bonnie, it laid you flat out. But anyway, but I went ahead and got the plants, and I'm so busy right now. It's like, Deb, do you really need to take on one more thing? But you know what? When they're gone, and you spend the whole summer without them. And I used to be such an avid gardener, and to me, color is color, whether it's in flowers or whether it's in fabric, and I need that. I need that to be happy and healthy. And plus, it's good for me. It's good for me, who tends to be a little more sedentary, to get out there and garden. So Mark planted the bushes for me because they were right big, but I have to do all the flower and plant planting. Like the hostas I dug up and divided today, I have to put those in. And it's not his thing, and it makes sense, and it's good for me to get out and have something like this to do. So, have any of y'all had the wind? We had a really torrential rain on Friday, followed by 50-mile-an-hour winds. So we went out yesterday and we saw a tree hanging on the wires, and mostly I kind of think of it as a nature's pruning of excess foliage. So yeah, right now we're having tree pollen and grass pollens at the same time. But they said, I don't know about y'all, but we've had like double the rain we normally have. So plant growth is out of control. It's hot there. Oh, 90. Yeah, it's in the, I think Mark said it was like 83 or something here. That's crazy. It's April. Kathleen Kendall. Hi, sweetie. Now, Kathleen Kendall, are you the one from Nova Scotia area? I'm sorry. Today I'm a little fuzzy, and I blame it on pollen. I get to blame everything on pollen. Or is Kathleen Kendall our new Maine person? I kind of have forgotten, but I recognize your name. Maine, that's our Maine person. Okay. I have forgotten the woman that is in Canada, but I'll be excited to see her. So I have, oh yes, because if the air is able to hold on to those pollutants, then it holds on to the pollen. We had a photograph here of the air over Durham, which is not even 2 hours away, was yellow. It was so full of pollen. I mean, that's crazy. That's right. You're our sweet Patty's sister. Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you. I think these are our first sisters. That's so wonderful. And Shelby is here. What is it like in Colorado? Because we all know Colorado has it made for weather. So what is it like there today for you? ACO, it's 40s. Ooh, I think ACO is New Hampshire. My daughter lived in New Hampshire for a couple years and worked at a dairy farm. And she said she was out working with the cows, and she said it was minus 25. And we're like, minus 25? That's awful. She said it only hurts when you breathe. We're like, yeah, but don't you have to breathe? So anyway, and then let me see. I'm just looking back to make sure who we've got. 50 degrees. Oh, wow. Isn't that odd? New Hampshire. Good. And ACO, am I saying your name right, hon? I love the name ACO. Is the name ACO Asian? I love it. It's so cool. 85 in Colorado today and 59 tomorrow. Oh, honey, make sure you take care of yourself. I am sure that those kind of temperature shifts can make you more prone to getting a cold. So take care. Oh, wow. 50 in Maine. It's warm there, huh? Oh, I bet you do, Bonnie. Oh, gosh. Patty finally had sun today. Patty, is it hard? It's hard on me when I go so many days without sun. Oh, okay. So in Michigan, it's finally 52. Taco without a T. So it's Akko. Ah, Akko. Thank you for telling me because I hate to get someone's name wrong. But my new daughter-in-law is her parents are from the Philippines, and she was born in Hawaii. And I think her dad was born stateside, but was raised in the Philippines. And I just love their family structure. They are so close, and they just all pitch in. And I don't know, I just love that. So it's made me very interested in Asian cultures. I find it amazing. So Akko, no, I don't know. Akko might be more Japanese sounding, but how wonderful. I'm thrilled. I love it. We've got Nadine from Germany, and we've got, is it Catherine from France? And you know what? Doesn't it make the world go around? I love it. All different backgrounds and everything. Let's see. So Anne sat outside to dry her hair. Oh, honey. So you're not, Anne, you probably don't have the vegetation there that we do here, so you're not having the pollen as bad. Oh, and speaking of it, I think, Patty Fry's not here. But, I put up my bird feeder as soon as I saw. Oh, is Patty sleepy? Oh, I'm sorry, sweetie. But I'm so tickled you're here, Patty. And Patty, am I right to think you might have red hair? My son's a ginger, and so I just love red hair. Love it. So we're all sisters in sewing. And you know what? I've always loved the parable of stone soup and think the more the merrier, the more exciting, the more we can learn. Oh, life is so good. Life is good. So I've been very busy, and on our Yahoo site, a little whiny. I'm sorry. What is vegetation? And says trees, grasses. Right now, we're having oak trees you probably have cottonwood. In fact, I bet you Diane in Texas has a lot of cottonwood trees, and evidently they're going nuts this year. So I've got, okay. Yeah, anything with pollen. No, you were a blonde, but now all gray. Okay. I was just trying to figure out, because y'all have little tiny like avatar pictures, but I can't really see them very well. And so I'm always curious. All right. So I've got a busy few weeks, crazy busy. And, I've got the quilt show coming up. Oh, speaking of, Anne has lots of cottonwood too, and fir trees, because some of those pines will do a lot. Oak trees, oh my God, their pollen is the kind that makes everything yellow. The yellow dust comes from oak. Wow. So here is, oh good, Mark's going to go for a ride. He's worked very hard today and yesterday. So here is my quilt ready to go out. I have cleaned it. I have blocked it. And let me tell you what, blocking it on that pink thick styrofoam board, house insulation board, was wonderful. And I had a pack of these pins that are supposed to be the Easy Grasp. And I didn't like them because I felt like they were a little bit too much like railroad spikes, but they were perfect for blocking the quilt. They were sturdy. They easily went through the quilt, and they went into the insulation board, and they didn't bend. Very sturdy. So now it is blocked. Hopefully it looks pretty good. I went over the back of the quilt and took out any messy threads. And I got to tell you this. There was one bit of sewing that had looked kind of sloppy. The thread tension was off. So I redid it. And you won't believe what it did, girlfriends. I lifted up the quilt, and this was sewn into the back. It had caught underneath. So I had to take that seam back out, thank you. But anyway, as you'll see, who was it? Somebody told me they looked up. Oh, is Mika on here? Somebody named Mika? Mika? Hi, hon. Someone had looked up for me and said that if you can use the same backing material for your sleeve, it's a good thing. Well, my grandson was over, and he wanted to make money for keyless, so wireless computer keyboard. So I put him to work. And because he did such a good job, I ended up finding some of the actual backing. I had to piece it because it was just a scrap, but I managed to make my 4-inch sleeve out of the same as the back. So thank you for whoever told me that. And then I have a label. So I have to mail it Monday. They must have it Thursday. So I'm going to mail it Monday and do 2-day ship. And I'm not going to put it in the box until I'm ready to go to the post office because you have to fold it up. And I am concerned about what's going to happen to the rooster feathers when I fold it up. But anyway, I think I got everything done. I found the box today, and I'm going to try to fold it. They said no styrofoam or peanuts, but I'm going to try to use some bubble wrap. It's kind of nervous. You won't believe it. You won't believe it. I got this thing from Mancuso, and it says, send this to your local paper. And it said, local quilter has quilt accepted into National Quilt. So I was too embarrassed to send it to the local paper, but I sent it to a couple, local friends, and I thought they might get a kick out of it. But I'm too shy to send it to the newspaper. So let me see. Thank you, Susan. So anyway, yes, I was going to send it on April 25th, but then I looked at the calendar and said I knew I wouldn't get it done in time because I had my grandkids over last week. And so I said, well, okay, it has to be in by May 2nd. It has to be received May 2nd. So I said, okay, I can mail it tomorrow on the 29th, send it 2 days, and it will get there May 1st. So it's cutting it a little bit close. But if I make sure, I'm trying to decide who's the best person to send it by. I didn't know if I should send it UPS. I don't know. So let me see. You think I should send it to the paper? I might do it. I'm a little nervous, but oh, sweetheart. Take care, Nadine. And I'm sorry you've got to go. I don't blame you. You get some good sleep. You've got work tomorrow, hon. Mark always says, it's a school day. It's a school night. So Sonia likes FedEx. Okay. Well, Nadine, we love you to bits, and we will see you next week. I don't think I'm going to win, Jean, but I'm just tickled to have it hanging up in there. That's so exciting. So sleep good, Nadine, sweetheart. So look at what I've got. And if you like this one, I think you'll really like this one. So, I've got a retreat coming up, and we're supposed to make a pincushion that Bonnie, maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll send it because, it's not, I doubt this will ever happen again. But we have a retreat coming up, and you're supposed to make a pincushion, put it in a paper bag, staple it shut, put your name inside of it, staple it shut, and then they're going to do the bag exchange. So this is the one I made for the retreat. And guess what I did for the eggs? Polymer clay. I was not going to do tiny stuffed eggs. I thought about putting jelly beans on there, but I said no, because then they'll get humid and run. And then this is one. I like the bird thing so much that I said, I want one, but I want one a little smaller. So I'll actually use it, and carry it around. And I put rice in the bottom along with a little batting to give it some weight, because I can't, it's hard when you have, like this pincushion, as much as I love it, it falls off of everything because it's too close to a ball. And if I'd known that, I'd have weighted the bottom. Maybe it's not too late. I could probably still open it and put some weight in the bottom. But, and I ended up taking some hot glue and because the bird was wobbly on the nest and that bothered me. So like you can see there, you can see that hot glue right there. But, boy, it made my stitches look, and that is really close up. It made my stitches look sloppy, but I promise you they're small. See his tail stitches? But anyway, and here are the wings that, I left them a little bit loose. But I just think the eggs are so cute. So here's the one that I'm going to take to the retreat. And this is the one just for me. And what I did is I took the pattern and I cut a half, not quite, maybe a third of an inch all the way around it. And you see his little wings are even a little touch looser. And this one's eggs, I put a few little speckles on, just make it different. I hate doing the same thing twice, but I think these came out really cute. So I'm tickled. So that's one thing I got done. Then I still don't have my house block on. I hope Diana Wright will come here today. I owe her a photo of my frame. She wants to see the machine on my quilting frame. I still don't have that done yet. But I'm just like staying focused. So let me see what I've got here to show you. I'm working on my house block. And if you've got your house blocks, if you're doing them, feel free to, but see, my house is like a sage green. So I'm trying to find a better green, but here's my roof line. Here's a tree. The blue and white is the sky. And so I'm working on my house block. I will get it done. And I've got all the little scraps that I need for it. And because I took a photo of it, and then I'm going to work from that. And a little bit of stone for around the front door, because we put up some fake stone. Looks pretty good, though. Looks pretty good. So, Akko and Sonia, these are my blocks. And what I was going to tell you, Akko, the one thing, because I'm going to stay here. Since I'm dressed and I have makeup on, I'm going to do some filming right after I get off of here. And what I was going to tell Akko to do, because I noticed that hand sewing and then pressing, there's more of a chance to get the piece a little askew. So what I was going to give you as a hint was, hold on, these were a lot of pages of, I'm so glad I bought the templates already printed, because there was a lot of templates, 8 pages, I think, of them. So there is a template, and I'm trying to find it so I can tell you what number template it is. But it's the one, Sonia, you might be able to help me. It's the template Sonia used, because she did the easy method of sew the 2 different colors together in a long strip, then take the template and cut out a kite shape instead of cutting out two separate pieces with two separate templates. Now, I know I've got that template, but I'm not seeing it right here. But there's a name. The template has, I don't know if it's template. Oh, here it is. Well, no. Here it is. Okay, I hadn't cut it loose yet. So, Akko, what I suggest is that when you get your pieces pressed, that you then take the template and measure up your piece against it. Well, that one came out pretty darn good, if I do say so myself. Okay? So, even though we're using the two little templates to cut these out, take this template, and it's template in, and this is what the finished size and shape should be. And so that way, let's say it ironed or a little crooked or pressed, pressed, not ironed, pressed a little crooked, then you can even it up, try to straighten it out and test it against the template. So that's the only thing I hadn't told you before, but it looked like you were doing a great job. And that Taylor's chalk really makes it so simple to trace. And I really swear by my Taylor's chalk. So, pardon me, let me get these out of the way. So let me see. No circular motion with ironing. Just press and release. Thank you, because you know what? I'm from the old school. For some weird reason, my mother taught me how to iron as a child. And I had to learn right-handed because I'm left-handed. She was right-handed. So she only knew to teach me the way she knew. But I was really good at ironing men's shirts. And so since I was so good at it and seemed to enjoy it, I got to iron my dad's shirts. And I think I just enjoyed using the Coke bottle with the little metal tip that did the sprinkles. And I loved using starch. So, but anyway, unfortunately, when I try to press my pieced blocks, I iron those puppies. It's like I try to iron the life out of them. This is taking too long because I'm trying to talk to y'all. So let me just pile it up. And it would have helped when I cut them out just to save the good bits in this bag. So anyway, okay. Yeah, I love the bottle. It was either Pepsi bottle or RC bottle or Coke bottle with the metal tip and the water. And, I kind of miss some of those cute little things from the past. So I still haven't sewn any more than 30 of these. And are you ready for this? Her clue comes out next clue comes out next Saturday. So, Akko, be ready. Yes, I always press to the dark if I possibly can. There are times you can't, but press to the dark. Also, if you ever have to press seams open, sometimes when you have too many seams together, they tell you to press them open. If you get a piece of this molding, this is half round, and if you get a piece of this, you can get a scrap from like Home Depot, and some people cover it with a little muslin sock or paint it or whatever. Just make sure it's a paint that doesn't mind being ironed. This really, Akko, you got 3 done. Excellent. And this really makes ironing seams open easier. So, have y'all ever seen that? But it's half round molding. It really helps if you have to do that. So, I'm going to stay here and work on my landscape and get it up. And I'm going to do a quick Jenny Byers step 1, get that up tonight. And what else? So I'm going to start working on the shirt. I was going to show you how to make a shirt. And so I'll start on that. So that's doing good. Now, I've got an exciting thing to show you. And it's so easy. And I was sitting here because I am doing, I knew what I was going to show you. I am in charge of Quilt Bingo. We do quilt bingo at all of our retreats. I used to do it for special occasions when I ran the group. And so I will show you. What's this doing in there? Okay, where is it? Maybe it's in the bottom drawer. But anyway, I have a folder. You know what? It's not in here, so I'll have to show you next week. Next week, I'll be planning to do it. But we have some pre-made Quilto cards. And what I did is just took quilt words or quilt little couple word sayings. And I went on eBay and bought some of these bingo chips because I always take buttons, but my buttons were running low. So I got some more of these. So I'll put these aside to remember to take them to the retreat. But we had a lovely lady that took the bingo cards because I had these phrases. Michelle is here. Hi, sweetie. Hi, sweetie. But anyway, she laminated the bingo cards for us. And what we do, each person brings 6 fat quarters. And I take and roll my fat quarters up and put a cute little ribbon on them. We bring 6 fat quarters. We also bring a basket that we can hand around. And every person that wants to play bingo, they throw in a fat quarter. The winner of that round's bingo game gets all the fat quarters. So, hi, sweetie. So each person brings 6 fat quarters and we play 6 games of bingo. So, and I like everything to be fair. And so if one person wins, we say, could you not win anymore? You can still play, but you just don't win. Because one time I played a bingo game with the group and the same lady won like 3 of the 6. That's just so disheartening. So, but anyway, what I decided, I thought I'm sitting here, and Michelle, you've made one of these because you gave me one. I'm pretty sure you did. And these are fabric boxes. So I thought today I would do a little tutorial on making making fabric boxes. So I found the cutest. I just had a little scrap of it, maybe a fat 1/8, or maybe it was a fat quarter. Who knows? I could have won this at a bingo game. So I made this, and then I'm going to show you how to make it. So easy. And I also have a link to give you to find the tutorial. But isn't this the cutest? I mean, it's so bright and chipper. And then what I will do is pick some buttons out of my button bag and sew a button over every little thing that's hanging down. So let me first, I'll give this, hold on 1 second. And it's a great tutorial. I mean, just you pick it up just like this. Okay. So I'm coming with let me give this to Susan because, she is sharp as a tack. Hold on a second. Okay. So Susan, this, if anybody wants this the rest of the time, there you go. Oh, well, that's a good idea too. So, it's so good to see you. You made a bunch. Ooh, what did you make a bunch of for Easter? I forgot now. Oh, bingo cards maybe? I don't know. So, okay. Show the inside. I sure will. Oh, what a great idea. You could make these, but bigger ones I was looking at the inside little things thinking, you know what? For me, I would probably tack these. Like tack them this way on this side, tack them this way on that side. But, you know what I was thinking? You could use it to standard pen in. So there you go, everybody. So, or actually you could take, look at that, put a little pair of scissors in. So maybe I'll tack it down so you can still stick something in it, but it stays against one side. That would be good. All right. So this is going to be my make and take. Now I'm going to show you how to make it because it is that easy. This is what you're going to want. You're going to want one 10-inch square of the backing, which will be the inside of the box. One 10-inch square. One 10-inch square of the outside of the box. Okay? Now, what I did just to make the box look a little nicer and neater is I took a 10-inch piece of fusible interfacing and ironed it. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you can see right up along the edge, you can see that it has a 10-inch square of interfacing ironed to the outside fabric of the box. I did this so that the box would look nice and neat. Just something to make it look a little tidier and a little firmer. Okay? These are so much fun. I think I'm going to be like Michelle. I'm going to be making more of these and in different sizes and everything because what fun. All right. So I've got then one 10-inch piece of interfacing. So let me get this. Okay. So I take the pretty side of this, face it up. Okay, and make sure you can see what I'm doing. Let me close these blinds a little bit. The sun just all of a sudden came out. I've always thought I would like to move to England, but if I don't do well without sun, might not be a good thing for a Deb. And I'm hoping that our member who, I'm just going to say her first name, Marianne, I hope she's still watching. I totally respected her wish, but I hope she's still watching. Okay, so then I take the pretty side of this and I lay it against the pretty side of that. Okay? Now, this is what's going to look odd. Put your batting on, so it's going to be on the bottom. So I don't have my batting where I have to sew over it. Now I'm noticing that I thought I had cut out 10 inches, but I've got a little bit extra. So I'm going to go ahead and trim this up. And don't worry if you're getting bored by me doing a tutorial on this. Don't worry. It is quick and easy. And we'll get back to chatting in just a moment. All right, so now I've got on this side, I've got the batting, then I've got the front, the pretty side, and the lining right here. And I'm going to take some pins, and I'm going to pin it. I don't want anything to shift. Boy, will that ruin your day if it shifted or got a big wrinkle in it. I don't like doing anything a second time, so I try to get it right the first time. All right, so you see I've got these away from the edge. Then you take it to the computer. You take it to the sewing machine. My computer doesn't know how to sew yet. So you take it to the sewing machine, and I'm going to do a stitch. I've got to decide where am I going to leave it open? I'll leave it open down here. So I just do quick sewing of it about a little less than a 1/4 inch from the edge, making sure you've got all the edges sewn in. A little less than a 1/4 of an inch. Okay. Pin cushion needs to go. All right. All right. because I was thinking about this earlier, and I said, I was thinking just to tell you about it, but there are a couple things, if you're new to sewing, there might be a few things that you're not used to. Now, what I did on the bottom here, I wanted to leave a pocket, an opening, so I can turn this inside out. And earlier, I sewed down one side and just stopped here, but this comes open too easily. So now I know why they always said, pick a space and leave it. So, in fact, let me see. All right. So the thing you need to remember is cut your corners off, but don't cut your stitches. You still gotta, just cut the corners off, because when you turn it inside out, it'll help you get sharper corners. I take out the pins. You will not believe how fast this is to make this little thing. Do you see these? This is one of those Orbeez, those gel beads. I found it in my laundry, so I brought it in here and played with it a little bit. Okay, so now I've cut the corners off, and I open it in between the layers of fabric. I ignore the batting. I open it in between the layers of fabric. And it's just a 10-inch square. Everybody can spare a 10-inch square. So you just grab one of the corners and turn it inside out. Now, since I have big hands, what I'm going to do is first use the blunt end. I'm going to use this blunt end of a skewer, and I'm going to come and push the corners out. Never use something sharp. Your tendency is to want to use something sharp to get these corners pushed out. But can I tell you, I'm almost 63, and can I tell you how many times I have pushed something sharp right through the fabric and torn it? So don't do it. Just, you always think, this time I'll be gentle. No, you won't. So, I just pushed that one out. I must have sewn a little too close to the edge. So real quick, before I do anything more, I'm going to, let me just stitch that again. I must not have gotten the corner good. So it's so much easier to fix it now. And remember, I always show you the good and the bad, the mistakes and the successes, because that's what life is. So I'll sew down this side. Come on, foot pedal. The foot pedal's trying to run away. Come on. Okay. So now I've sewn it better. Now I can, and what I like to do is I have a bone turner. And it's just a piece of plastic, very comfortable in the hand. And I'll use that to get a nice, and see, I'm being more gentle now. Don't push it through the threads, Deb. But now I go into each corner, because you do want these corners pretty, you want them a nice 90-degree corner. And I go up to this one and push that. And my last one here, push that. Okay. Now, I'll turn the camera and show you that I'm going to try very hard to press this. Don't get mad at me, Cheryl, if it's so tempting for me to want to do this stuff to it, but I'm going to try very hard to press. And I've got a steam iron. I like using a steam iron. Some people like a dry iron. The only problem, Michelle will tell you that sometimes when I'm using my steam iron, it'll spit at me. And Michelle hates a steam iron for that reason. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is tuck in 1/4 of an inch on each side. But let me do one thing really quickly. I'm going to trim this batting a little bit from the edge, because it just makes it too hard to tuck in. So I'm going to trim it not quite a full 1/4 of an inch, okay? Hopefully you can see, not quite a 1/4 of an inch. Then I go ahead, come back to this, tuck these edges in, not quite a 1/4 of an inch. All right? tuck it in, hold it with my hands, make sure it looks straight, because sometimes it won't quite be even. So then I take and give it a good press. You notice I stopped myself, Cheryl. I'm trying. And you look and say, yeah, does it look pretty straight? Yeah, I think it does. So now I'm going to come back over here to the machine. All right. And I'm going to do a top stitch all the way around the edge. And that gives the edge a nice clean finish and also closes up the turn inside out opening. The opening you left to turn it inside out. So now I'm doing a top stitch all the way around. I did try earlier. One of the reasons I was late is I was trying to put a walking foot on because you do some quilting. And I thought, well, I should do it professionally and try to put a walking foot on there. Well, honest to goodness, I got the walking foot on there, but then I forgot how to move the needle on this machine, and I couldn't find my book. And when I get busy like that or a little bit stressed, now here, this corner is not quite fully turned out. I thought I had done better than this. So I'm taking a sewing pin and I'm just gently, carefully pulling that corner out, just a touch. You have to be careful doing this because you don't want to rip the fabric, but pull it out until I'm happy with it. Then this is the last corner. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and quilt it, because quilting it gives it stability, gives it a nice design. So I'm going to move the needle over without breaking the thread, and I'm just going to start quilting, and I'm just going to go round and around and around. Come down to here. I'm going to set my needle down. That way, every time I get ready to turn the corner, my needle will stop in the down position. If you have that on your sewing machine, it can be very handy to use. Now, when I get close to the edge, sometimes it'll shove a little bit of fabric that way. So, if so, just try to smooth it back out with your hand. But remember, this is just a fabric box. This is not anything that has to be perfect, because by the time you finish folding it up, you won't see it. You notice everything more when it's flat. So now, instead of going all the way to the end, I'm going to cut in a little bit earlier. So this way I don't have to keep stopping and starting and moving. I'm just going to end up going in a square spiral. Is there such a thing as a square spiral? So I might be running, I think I'm running out of bobbin. Hold on, yep, ran out of bobbin. It always makes a funny squeaking sound when it runs out of bobbin. But I had another one wound, because I knew I'd be doing this for you today, and I knew I would run out of bobbin. All right, here's my cover. Put it back on. All right, go right back. I start about 5 stitches before where I left off, so that the stitches are good and locked. Okay, come around here again, and just sew as fast as I can so I don't keep y'all waiting. I love fabric boxes. I have an oblong one upstairs, and I use it when I hand sew by my chair. That's what I use to store my hand sewing supplies. So, see, this is just, and is it perfect? Are my lines perfectly straight? Nope, but that's okay. I'm just doing this to show you. And I'm not going to care. I'll never notice it. So if you are the type that want it the best you can do, then just slow down, take your time. But I'm in a hurry. I'm in a hurry. All right. So as you notice, since I'm doing a square spiral, I don't know what you call a square spiral, but okay, here we go. So I was out on my porch last night because I changed my hummingbird feeder, changed the liquid in it, put up a second one. Each week I'll add an additional until I get about 4 out there. And so I was standing near the front door, and 3 feet away, a hummingbird came and drank out of the hummingbird feeder. I was amazed. He wasn't a bit shy. So I think it's going to be a fun summer with the hummingbirds. I'm almost there. I'm down to 1.5 inches square. I love this needle down. I mean, how easy is that? Then it's just a matter of spinning this puppy. Okay, lock the stitches. Here I go. All right, a few stray threads, but you see what I did. All right. So now, what you do, and I'm gonna keep the camera the same. Let me just get this couple little threads out of the way. All right. All right. What you do is you take and put the pretty side, your fancy side facing up. You take and fold it in half. Okay? See? Pretty straightforward. I make my own hummingbird food. I do 1 part sugar, plain sugar, no food coloring, and no artificial sugar, and 4 parts of water. And usually I'll give them just a little half teaspoon more sugar just to make sure I've got it good enough. And then I change it before it gets cloudy. So sugar is a preservative, but it can get a little funky and ferment, so you have to change it. All right, you come up. What you're going to be doing is, I think she said make a 2-inch triangle. So I come up about 2 inches and stitch diagonally across the corner. Now, I'm sure that you'll draw your line on the corner. I didn't with these because I was in a hurry. So here I go to do this side. 2 inches away to 2 inches up. Looks good enough. See? And they're pretty even, believe it or not. Then what I do is take now and fold it the opposite way. It's hard. You can't get it to lay smooth because of this, but you do the same 2-inch triangle here. So I eyeball it, and feel free to take and measure 2 inches up, 2 inches over, draw the diagonal line. I would do it if I had more time, but I don't, so I won't. Do the same thing on the other side. Fold it in half. I mean, how easy is this? In real time, I think it takes not much more than 10 minutes to do a bag. Okay. Now I'm done with that. All the sewing by machine is done. And if you want to be neat, you can trim your little thread tails. Be careful not to cut the fabric. I've done that before. Any mistake you make, I've done 10 times. So sometimes I think the best teacher is the one who's learned from their mistakes. Okay, so now you got the pretty fabric inside. You just turn it inside out, And pretty fabric is subjective because I think both of these are pretty. All right. So, you see, get a nice square bottom, push them out, push it out good. And then you just take and flip this over. And I put a pin in it about where I want it and do that to each side. I mean, how easy are these gifts? And you could put just about anything. You could put sewing supplies. You could put spare change. You could put jewelry. Just about anything. So now I have two very different looking baskets. And how awesome. I'm just noticing this looks like this one right here wants to pull away a little bit. So make sure that you double lock that little stitch. Now what makes it really cute are the buttons you put on there. And let's see what choices I have in this one. I could put a green button, and that is precious. I don't think they have any orange buttons in here. They do have a lavender button. I could put a lavender button there. Or I could just do a yellow button. But actually, so far, I think I like the green. Oh, that's cute. Don't you think? Then, let's see. For this one, I wish I had some different ones, but I could do, that might be really good. I wish I had some brown ones, but I might have to look around in my other stash. And then if I want to, I can tack these up against the wall out of the way. You think the blue? Okay. The blue. But how cute is that? So what I'm going to do is look through my fabrics and find some colorful fabrics. It's nice to have a colorful lining with the outside. And depending on the fabric you make, changes the look and the feel. Like this one just feels so tropical to me. And I love that. I mean, perfect for summer. You could make them in a shape that you can keep your napkins in it for the summer. I mean, how cute are these? Oh, a white button. That would be nice too. That would be. So, because it does have white. So just something that, it's nice to have that little. And I hope you don't mind me showing you that because you can see exactly how easy something like this would be to make. And if I really wanted to be fancy, I could do an orange sliced polymer clay button and put it on there. But I don't have the time anytime coming up. So, but aren't these cute? And what gifts? Make a bunch of these. And when you have an occasion come up, you've got a ready-made gift. That's what I love doing. So, well, I'm glad you like that. When I saw it, I thought, I can do this for today's show. And this will be my make and take for the retreat I go to. And you can see these were the same size squares, but see the bottoms are different. This is bigger. So I did a smaller triangle on that one and did a bigger triangle on this one. So you can change them that way or just change the shape of your initial thing. Like if you wanted to do a rectangular napkin box, then take and make it maybe 14 inches long and maybe 8 inches wide and make a rectangular one. So, Michelle, since you make these, can you give any? Oh, Kathleen Ziegler. Hi, sweetie. So these are a great idea. These buttons bags I get from Joann's when they have them on sale, 50% off. And they've got them in all different colorways. I also make necklaces out of these too. So these are such a great deal for like $3 is what it means. You know, if you get it 50% off, it's like $3, and you've got all these buttons for all kinds of crafts. You've got cookie baskets. Oh, how sweet. To take some homemade cookies to a friend, make a bigger homemade one, and then they can use them for other things. I would line it with waxed paper so that, you know, the fabric box stays clean. But what a great little way. You could put money in here for a child. You could use birthday fabric, just everything. So I thought that was cute and easy for y'all to do. Now, let me catch up a little bit with y'all. In fact, you know what? This would make a really cute button. This will be my button basket for right now. Let me get them all in there. I love these big buttons. I mean, if you make some kind of tote, wouldn't that be great on the handle? So I love buttons. You know, we don't use buttons for what we used to anymore. We use them for fun. And that's okay too. Put them in my hand. Drop them in. Yep, that's what tummies are for. All right, so let me put these two little babies out of the way and bring back up my camera. Thank you. That was fun. I'd like to do more of these in the future, because something that doesn't take too long, that's not too boring. And sometimes there's little things like, if you haven't been sewing, you might not know about trimming the corners, using skewers to push out the edges. Most people don't know what a bone folder is. And these are helpful, like if you want to fold paper, you crease it, you run along and crease it, and then it folds smoothly, and then you take the bone folder and run it along and crease it. So there's all kinds of uses for this stuff. So, alrighty. Let's see what you've been saying. So, well, thank you, Kathleen. Thank you. You know, blue is my color. And I found this shirt on Women Within, and I think I got it for $14 or $19. And I said, that's my price. And it's nice for summer. The only thing, I'm not sure what the fabric is made of. Oh, here are some buttons. I didn't take these buttons off. Okay. And I love when these shirt manufacturers nowadays include extra buttons. Okay. It's 100% rayon. Now, rayon has a little bit of controversy. It's made from cellulose, and there must be something in the manufacture of it that is not the best for the environment. What I like about rayon is it looks like cotton. It's organic like cotton, mostly. I mean, it's made out of cellulose fibers, but there's some kind of chemical process that it goes through to get it to be viscous, I guess you would call it, and to be able to make some kind of thread out of it. It has the look of linen. The one thing I found is I had to iron and starch this. So when you iron it, when you wash it, don't throw it into a dryer that has any heat. And I hung it up to dry, which then left it with some wrinkles. I tried sprinkling water on it, throwing it back in the dryer, but it still came out looking a little limp and a little wrinkly. So I starched it, and then it's gorgeous. So it's a little more maintenance than I would normally like, but I love the color. I love anything with pleats on the front to give a little interest, and then that way it has a little fullness so that I think it's a little more figure flattering. So now what is Michelle saying? What a grand idea. So to match Russell's quilt that I made, use the scraps of that fabric to make a fabric box. Michelle, that's brilliant. Oh my gosh. Now, Michelle, you've got me thinking, because I have leftover fabric from like when I made my bathroom curtains that I could then make fabric boxes to sit extra bars of soap in. Oh, Michelle, that's brilliant. Brilliant. I miss that gal. I miss that gal. Thank you, hon. I'm going to do that with the Russell's, because they could put things in that. You know, when you have a baby, there's always, you need to have storage things for all kinds of baby stuff. So that's great. Yeah, I want people to keep your eyes up here, not looking at the wider parts of me. So that's funny. I love that, Kathleen. In fact, yesterday was my 45th high school reunion, and I would have loved to have been there. But I realized December, January, February, March, not April maybe. I went December, January, February, March. I went on trips of 5 hours or longer. And then in a couple weeks, I'm going to go see my quilt in the Lancaster Quilt Fest show. And so I've got that long trip. I'm going to stop back and see my grandbaby on the way home. So that's a 5th trip. And I'm exhausted. I've got a retreat coming up. And then we're going to go camping sometime in June. And so it just gets to be a bit much. You know, it's like too many things piling on. So I sadly had to write and say, I'll miss the reunion. You know, how do I say this? Every year, the reunion has fewer and fewer people who are able to attend. So I don't like to miss a year because I didn't go to my 10th. I wasn't in the mood at my 10th, but the 20th was wonderful. Probably the best one. And I just am so grateful that these people will put on these reunions. And I love that they did it instead of going every 10 years. This one they did every 5. So I said, I'm sorry I can't come, but please do another one because it kills me not to be there. So Friday night they had a thing at a local club. And then Saturday they had a 4-hour at a beautiful venue, a beautiful like restaurant venue with a little dance floor. And then today they had a goodbye brunch, and I wish I had been there, but I will be the next one. So let's see. What else are y'all saying? What are y'all doing? Oh, good, Sonia. Good. Diana Wright is here. Oh, Diana, I love that you go out and work with him. Diana has a really sweet hubby, so we're lucky. So let's see. You know what? I just read Cheryl's comment about tummies. I used to say there wasn't a baby I couldn't put to sleep. Between the, all the soft, squishy places, it was very comfortable. Diana, don't worry. In fact, I was telling them, let me see. It's right over here. I am working on my house block, Diana, I promise. And I've got little bits of it done. So I am going to work on it and get it done right away. In fact, I told Mark, I said, honestly, with everything I have going on, everything that I have to have done until after the middle of May, I have to do this week. So it's a busy time. But, and I used to thrive off of being busy. I always wanted to live on a piece of land. I'm not one that plays well with others. I need some space around me. Neighbors get on my nerves. And so when this was back in my former marriage, and when the kids were growing up, and I found 10 acres of land, and I built a house. I was a general contractor, and I had a company that took my house plans. I took one of their plans, made 50 changes to it, and then they built it in a factory, just the unfinished wall patterns, panels, not siding, not any roofing, but they did the wall panels inside on a special jigs. And it meant the house fit like an amazing puzzle. And this truck came out and picked up a crane and would put the wall panel, on the foundation, put it in place. They had the house weathered in 2 weeks. You can't beat that. But I was 37, 36. I was something else. I was in my prime. I had the house done in 4 months. We started December 27th and we moved in April 18th, 20th, something like that. 4 months. But you know what? I can't do that stuff anymore. I mean, I was taking the kids to school because we had to rent out of our school district, and I was taking the kids to school. For 2 weeks, I made a hot meal every day for the carpenters. Boy, they worked really good and hard for that hot meal. And I had everybody lined up, bam, 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 to get everything put in and done. And then, like, I went out myself and waterproofed the footing, and I did stonework, I did tile work, did the flooring, the painting. I mean, but I couldn't do that now if I tried. I was so worn out when the grandkids came home the next day, I just wanted to sleep. And I mean, they're 11 and 14. Come on, Deb. But yeah, see, I don't do well when I live too close to people. It's like here, we're on an acre and not quite a quarter. And when the leaves come out, I can't see my neighbors, and I'm happy. Oh, well, I've had my busy times, but now it's like, but I used to thrive on being busy. I mean, I made all my kids' clothes. I made them homemade costumes. They had a homemade birthday cake, and it was decorated from whatever book was popular at that time. I did so much, worked outside the home. I mean, I did too much. And I felt like I was only worth my last achievement, so I had to keep producing to feel like I was worth anything. Oh, Akko, that must be wonderful. And but now I've learned, you know what? I don't have to. I'm worth enough when I do nothing. So I don't have to prove my worth anymore. I'm entitled to breathe oxygen. So anyway, but I love having privacy, and I realize that, oh, wow, Kathleen, good job, though, for getting out there and mowing, hon. So I've started planting my flowers. I went and bought quite a few, but not as many as I have in the past. But I'm learning to buy more perennials and shrubs and take a little bit of a break on all the annuals because that's a lot of work. So you lived out in the taters. Speaking of taters, I got to tell you this. When I lived on the 10 acres, we had a huge, like a half acre worth of gardens, and we grew potatoes every year. And when it came time to harvest those, the kids loved it. Their father and I would take pitchforks and turn the earth up and then say, okay, and they'd rush in and find the potatoes. Talk about joy. They couldn't believe that potatoes were just there in the dirt waiting to be grabbed. Isn't that cute? So now I won't tell you that I wasn't as good at harvesting green beans. That was a lot of work. Akko, I have a feeling ticks are going to be horrible this year. We live in the woods here, And my dogs have frontline on them. And I hate using that kind of stuff on them, but you know what? It's not worth it. If they come in from being outside and jump on our bed, and they don't need the ticks and we don't need the ticks. And it didn't get cold enough this winter to kill fleas, so I wasn't going to even take a chance on starting with fleas. So be careful with ticks. Lyme disease is rampant. So, oh, good point. Yeah, as you age, living far away from everything kind of loses its appeal. But the noise in the city, you're right, is so different. I get it. I get it. Yes, I have been letting my chickens out a lot. And I said, go for it. They say guinea hens are the best at getting ticks. But guinea hens, I don't know if any of you have ever had them. Guinea hens are kind of a pain. They get in places they shouldn't. They're just kind of dumb. I don't know. They're irritating. So you have 4 possums? Oh my gosh. I don't like possums because they eat my fruit and they eat my chickens, and they only like to eat the head, leave the rest. So I discourage possums. But hey, if they're going to eat the ticks, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Now Kathleen, do you use a push mower, hon? Because I was going to say, oh my gosh, I couldn't do a push mower anymore. Oh, Akko, that sounds wonderful. A rooster, 9 hens, 4 ducks, and guinea hens. I love ducks. Every year when we lived on that 10 acres, we'd go down to the Amish farmers market and we'd buy our new turkeys and new ducklings. Oh my God, it was fun. Oh, Kathleen, I bow down to Kathleen. She pushes a mower. Hon, that's amazing. Guinea hens are loud. Oh, maybe that's one of the things. I'll never forget. I used to, when I lived up in Maryland and had the 10 acres, we would go to an Amish grain mill. Actually, they were old order Mennonite, but if you didn't know, you'd think they were Amish. No electricity, horses and stuff. But anyway, they had peacocks that would run around. And with peacocks, they're loud. They get up on your roof and crap all over it. But he said that one of his peacocks, when they make this certain call, this man jumped out of his car. He was terrified he had run over something. He thought it said help, because they kind of go, help, help. And it sounds like help if you're not listening carefully. So, yeah, they are. They have beautiful tails, but everything else about them is a real pain. Oh, you have moss. Yeah, so you're in a very acidic area. So I tell you what, I'm sick and tired of slugs, so I think I'm going to have to try to find some kind of slug bait, because they just will strip my petunias overnight. I mean, bad, bad, bad. So, oh, that's neat. Well, but at least, Akko, I had big Toulouse geese, because the Chinese geese were mean and the Toulouse were a lot more calm. But be careful when you pick one up. I had one hit me in the temple with its wing, and I saw stars. I thought I was going to pass out. But I loved having the Toulouse geese, because they always let me know when somebody was coming up the driveway. So, yeah, I know, because I told Mark I can't use anything for slugs that the dogs or chickens could get into, because it would kill them. And I've heard of trying to put beer and somehow they crawl in and drown, and I don't know. Huh. I'll give anything a shot, because I get tired of them eating all my petunias. And I buy those petunias that are the really good ones that you don't have to pinch them back and they keep on coming. And I don't like them in the ground. And I don't like them eating my good petunias. So I'll pull up today's quilt. Today's quilt is an interesting one, and I'll tell you why. Today's quilt, I started. Nobody's ever late here. You have made your entrance, and we are thrilled to have you. So I just was watching a bird trying to land on a weed that wouldn't hold it, and then it went over to another bush. So today's quilt is interesting, okay? This quilt the pattern was called 3-bean salad. And I started this quilt back in 2003 when my marriage went south. And I knew I was going to be getting a divorce. And all of a sudden, I was in the house all alone. And my son was getting ready to graduate from high school, but he was so busy with all of his activities. So I said, I need a new quilt. So this quilt was at first very depressing for me. I poured a lot of sorrows into this. But then as I continued to work on it, and as I continued to see light at the end of the tunnel, and I came down to North Carolina with my daughter and her husband to find where I was going to move, and fell in love with Winston-Salem, and started planning to sell my house and to make my move, it then became my victory quilt. And so then it became something that made me very happy. So, and it's not quilted because it's not quilted. I started saying, I think I've run out of my quilted ones to show them. They're going to have to just start seeing flimsies. And to any of you new quilters, these are called flimsies. So this, and I had this it's an early Jenny Beyer fabric, and I ran out of it. And so I found that I found some of this online, but it was going to cost more to ship a quarter yard than for the fabric. So I said, no, I'm not going to do it. So what I did is I just used a different green. And I was proud of myself because I said, that's what our grandmothers would have done. They wouldn't have paid $6 to get $6 of fabric. So I'm proud of that because that was something where I just said, nope, this is what I'm doing. And I love the colors. I don't know what this is a dark burgundy. And I just think it's so pretty. And, I love when they put out a fabric line. And I will definitely get it quilted this year. Because you know what? There's a lot to be proud of. Now looking back at 16 years later, I've done pretty well for myself, I think. And what I thought at first was the end of my life turned out to be just the beginning of a better one. So this I'm very proud of. So I thought I'd share this with y'all. So this was done back in 2003 to 2004. And I'm very proud of it. So I think it's time to get it quilted and bring it out. And I'm looking, and not so bad. Because, my quilting has improved a lot with age. So you just never know when you look at something that's 16 years old. It's like, what's it going to look like? But, nowadays with this fabric, I am so bold now. I'd have bleached it so it would fit in better. But I just put it in there and didn't care. So I enjoy it. I enjoy it, and I love the colors, and so I think it's time to quilt it up. So anyway, all righty. Well, I can chat the rest of the time. I'd love to say I have all this stuff to show you, but I don't. I've come a long way. Let me tell you, I've come a long way. And boy, it's been and you know what? Life is a journey. And if you don't enjoy the journey, by the time to get to where you're going, you might not have enough time to enjoy it. So, and I just looked over at these. I'm so tickled at these. Michelle made me one before she moved, and I love it. I dearly love it. I keep her Christmas ornament in it that she gave me. But these are so much fun and so easy. And when I saw it just takes a 10-inch square of fabric, I thought, I can do that. I can do that. So now it'll be fun to, don't miss the dance. Exactly. So aren't these fun? I'm thrilled. And don't forget that these little birdie pin cushions came from Sharon Holland's site. And you can do these for free also. And you know how to make little polymer clay eggs, I'm assuming. Charlotte and I, my granddaughter and I were doing polymer clay. And I said, I'm going to make polymer clay because I'm not going to, that's the easiest, fastest way. And I hot glued them on and it's all done. So I think they're really cute. So you can get your free pattern from, did she already find it? Let me see. If not, I've got it. Hold on a second. Hold on. Never done clay? Oh, it's fun. It is fun. Let me see. Oh, I didn't leave it close by. But I was going to show you. I made a cane the other day I'm still playing with. It's so much fun. So, Sharon Holland. I have Sharon Holland's site here somewhere. I told myself to leave it up. Here it is. I've got it right here. Let me cut and paste it. Anybody that wants to make these, they're so cute. And like I said, I took her pattern and then shrunk it I took each pattern piece and cut about 3/8 inches off all around the edge. And that made it, there we go. I've got it now. I'll be right there. All right. Oh, you did? Oh! Susan, you're so good. You're so good. You are so good. Oh, maybe we'll do some clay next week. That might be fun. Next Sunday is the day before my retreat, and this one's just an hour away. And not going to take the camper this time. I'm going to go ahead and stay in the lodge because it was just going to take too much to get the camper ready early enough, you know. But, oh, Susan, you're just the best. You are just the best. I had the site up because I thought I never assume that Susan's going to be there, and I never assume she's going to want to work while she's here. And I hope y'all realize that Diane 57 and Susan, they're always on. They look for any kind of, Diane is our bouncer. She looks for anybody that might be suspicious. And then Susan is the secretary from heaven. I mean, this gal is sharp, boy. Administrator. She gets bumped up. She's an administrator. So, and Linda Turner, hi, sweetie. What state are you from? Or she might say, oh, you've got a rectangle box too. Oh, everybody, look at the site for the rectangle box, because I'm thinking of all kinds of things to do with these. I mean, how cool. And the thing I love most about them, if you want to travel somewhere, like these would be great in the camper for different things. So I can flatten them when I'm not using them and look at that. It kind of pops back out on its own. And just remember, yeah, baby, Diane 57 is on it. And she has identified people before. So know that she's protecting you. She's a good one. But anyway, oh, I sure will, Michelle. But remember that I put, if you want it firmer, put fusible interfacing. And you can put it on either the inside lining or the outside or both. And just to give it, give it some firmness. Especially if you start to make them bigger. Then you might want to do some interfacing so that they hold their shape well. So, yeah, Kathleen, if you act up, Diana will get you right out of here. So they're great teams, and I appreciate them because they're my moderators when we do the live stream, and it makes it possible for me to be able to talk to you. And all the rest of you, Bonnie, all the rest of you give me good hints. Michelle, oh my gosh, gave us the best advice today about these boxes that you can, make them out of decorator fabric to go with a certain room or theme or baby's room. I just love the baby's room. And I have fabric left over because remember I took a big hunk out of my baby quilt, the baby quilt from hell that was getting way too big. So yeah, I love your Christmas ornament you made for me in the Christmas ornament box. I mean, how cool is that? And I love the idea. We just had Easter. You can put little, that little fakey grass that's in the pretty colors and then put little candy in there. And what gifts? Oh, it's tucked away, but next time I pull out my Christmas ornaments, I'll show you. She did one of the folded star ornaments for me. It's beautiful. And I don't know what she does, but when I do a Christmas star ornament, the shape kind of migrates around in like a spiral. Hers was perfect. I mean, perfect. But all of her, hey, that's a great idea. We will do a Christmas ornament swap. So remember, we'll start talking about it in like August to give us plenty of time. That is wonderful. So Diana, don't forget, if you want to participate in our house block, keep that coming. And we'll do that. Susan, remind us, we'll start in July or August so that we have plenty of time to get everybody on board. That's great. I love it. What a great idea. Anybody that comes on our chat and would like to join us at our Yahoo group, we have an Our Time to Quilt Yahoo group. There we go. You'll be able to remember it. And we have an Our Time to Quilt Yahoo group where we continue our fun. We share free patterns. We share photos of things we're working on, of ourselves, our families, whatever. And we'd love to have you join our Yahoo group. So Susan just put it up. If you send me an email to that address, I will have you signed up in no time because I'm really good at email. Not as good at phone calling, ask Michelle, but I'm really good at emailing. So Our Time to Quilt at twc.com. And I've got my email program up. Oh, girls, I got to tell you. Well, I told you this is the end of the April whine because I can't carry this whining into May. I mean, Mark's already asked me twice, you want some cheese with that wine? But anyway, so I got this laptop last year. So I didn't know what to do about getting Office and all of that stuff put on it. So I did a real quick, lease thing, for 365 Office 365. Well, it came up again and I thought, I am not going to throw money away. I'm going to buy the program outright. Well, I didn't know that last time I got Office Home and Student, it came with Outlook. So this year, as soon as they charged that, and I didn't get the email because they had my old email address. So I didn't get notice. All of a sudden, it shows up on PayPal. I'm on the phone with Microsoft. And I'm like, no, what can we do? I don't want this. I didn't know you were going to do that. So he said, okay, we can get you a refund and get you in home and student. And I didn't mention Outlook because I just assumed it came with it. So I get the new program. Oh no, there's no Outlook. They know that Outlook's the best email program out there. So now you have to buy it for $129 more. Now the lease thing was 70 with tax was 74. So I'm supposed to get a refund for that. The home and student with tax is 160. I'm like, oh my gosh, I just got through paying my taxes. I told you I was going to whine. So, and I promise that's just water. Got to go to the doctor tomorrow. Can't do anything. So I called Microsoft, and I don't have my refund yet. It took me 2 weeks to discover they were still thinking of me as my old email address. So I had filed a complaint with PayPal. Why am I not getting this refund from Microsoft? And I was worked up. And Mark says, Deb, they're Microsoft. They're going to get you your refund. And so I was upset. I hadn't seen it. Then I talked to him and I said, what can I do? I need Outlook. I need Outlook. This Windows 10 email is horrible. I even read a review and they said it's okay for short-term use, but it's no Outlook. Oh my God. I spend 4 hours a day on emails. 4 hours a day. I don't have time to deal with emails on a nasty product that doesn't keep the folders open for you, that makes it hard to switch back and forth between folders and emails and all this. Remember when I told y'all that when I would open the site or when I'd go to click on a link, I couldn't get it. And I thought, this is crazy. This is insane. And so I've been really stressed about the taxes. And he said, hon, upgrade it. Because when I called Microsoft to say, where's my refund? They didn't know. And he said, well, you can buy Outlook, but it's $129, or we will refund you for the home and student, let you do home and office, which has Outlook, but that's $100 more. I was so angry. I was feeling beaten down by the man, let me tell you. And so, after trying to get used to the Windows mail for 2 weeks and being miserable and it not working and it taking me so long to do anything, I said, that's it. I'm done. I mean, it didn't transfer all my email contacts, nothing. It was miserable. And it wouldn't let me open things. So let's say, I love to find free patterns for y'all. I'd open up Bear Creek email and try to click on a free pattern link. Oh, no, it would say can't take you there. I tried fixing it. I tried changing settings. Nothing worked. And so then I would have to copy and paste. What a mess. So, see, I told you, I'm a good whiner. So anyway, I called them, finally figure out why I hadn't gotten my refund. So I knew I had to go back to PayPal and say, look, they sent it to my old email account. You should be able to find it there. Yes, I just got my notice yesterday. Yes, we did find you were correct. And we have now credited you with that. Thank goodness. So then I went on back to Microsoft and said, I can't do this email. Go ahead and upgrade me, please, to the next program, knowing it's going to cost me $100 more. In the meantime, I decided to go. I was nervous about doing this credit card information with Microsoft, so I went to check the credit card I put it on and found out it says you have $20,000 of reward points. And I'm like, not $20,000, 20,000 reward points. And I went, what are reward? I never know what are reward points. So I happened to see a little thing to click on that said, would you like this in cash or check? Yeah. And so I had just put the new $260 program on that card. And it said, or would you like to put this against your current bill? And I went, yeah. It came up that those points were worth $200.99. Woo! And then I had clicked on, I would go ahead and switch to paperless billing because I don't keep a balance on it anyway. I got another $5 credit. So here I'm all upset because I had this 260 thing, and then I come up with $205.99 of credits. Yay, win for Deb. And then I thought, it's a shame I can't buy fabric with this. Oh, nope, I didn't buy fabric. And man, Pineapple Fabrics has been sending some great sales. I'm not buying it. I'm being good, y'all. You hear me? I'm being good. So anyway, so what turned out to be something very, and after I got upset with Microsoft, they had the refund in my bank account so fast. I didn't know the internet could work that fast. And turned out it wasn't their fault to begin with about the first refund because I didn't realize they had used my old email address. So anyway, I gotten back my refund from PayPal and my refund to change this over, and then found I love found money. Isn't found money the best? My daughters both said they had stories of when they were in college and found a $10 or $20 on the ground. And it was like, I can eat something really good. So anyway, thank you for listening to my whine. I loved when Cheryl was so sweet at our Yahoo group when I was just kind of said, I'm really overwhelmed. And Cheryl was so sweet. It felt like a hug. And I thought, oh my God, I needed that. So y'all are so sweet to me. Y'all are too good to me. And Bonnie, oh my God, she's the original spoiler. I sometimes think that I'm not sure I could have made it all this way and established something as good as it's been without my Bonnie. Because week after week, when I first started doing this live stream, and I didn't know what I was doing, Bonnie was there encouraging me, kind of answering questions, keeping me focused. It was wonderful. So you do know, I love Miss Bonnie. And she sent me some sweet things this week. One of them I'm so excited about, these. And then she sent me a couple things. One's going to Nadine. I'll tell you about it later after she gets it. And one thing is going to go to a special lady, one of our members here that could really use a good pick-me-up right now. And then she sent me a magazine. Oh, I got to show you. Oh, too cute. Look at this. Pink flamingo ribbon. Do you love I've got 2 yards of pink flamingo ribbon. Isn't this cute? And I'm going to put it on something that I make with some of that pink flamingo fabric. This is so special. So special. So, but I wanted to tell you real quick again about my Evan. Evan and Charlotte, you notice Charlotte's not here today. They're at the movie theater seeing the Avengers movie. And they love superheroes. And so they're so excited. Their mama got them tickets. And I mean, those tickets were sold out fast. So they're seeing that movie today. But anyway, I cut 120 2.5-inch squares. Minecraft, the Minecraft thing we did was all in shades of green and a few things of white, squares of white, and a few squares of black. That child worked on it for 2 days, got a wall hanging put together with 120 2.5-inch squares. And there were times that he got he's attention deficit, so he got a little distracted. But I showed him what a seam ripper is, and I said, this is what this is for. And he was great. He went home that night and put it on his wall immediately. So that was cute. Oh, thank you, Diana Wright. Well, y'all are all great, and I love it because I think I see all of y'all. If you think I'm happy and I'm blossoming, all of y'all are. I mean, we're just bursting out all over, and I love it. I love it. And you're all very, very special. You mean so much to me. I told Mark that my live streams are the highlight of my week, and I love it. And, family, y'all are my family. And you can't get enough family nowadays, let me tell you. So, y'all take really good care of yourselves and have a good week. Look for some videos to come out. You mean so much to me, and I'm going to get these things done. And I'll have to show you next week what my grandson did. He wanted to earn money, and so I said, can you sort all my fabric into light colors? He did. So that's good. Do something good for yourself because you deserve it. And you can't take care of other people unless you do take care of yourself first. Feed your soul, because that's what keeps us going. We're little energizer bunnies, all of us. We might get toppled over a little bit, but we'll be right back up. So have a great week. And you mean so much to me. Thank you for helping me get to 1,000 viewers. I'm thrilled. And let's get our house blocks to Diana Wright, because that's a wonderful thing that she has done for us. I mean, talk about adding to the group atmosphere. And it takes a village to raise a quilter. And we all know that. So have a great week, you guys. I think the world of you. Akko, very welcome here. I love it. And I've got another buddy doing the Jenny Buyer block of the month. Patty, take good care of yourself. Keep getting strong and healthy. Michelle, love you, gal. Miss you every day. Bye, you guys. Have a great week. And thank you, Miss Susan. Thank you, all of you. You're the best. I'm going to go get busy on my house block now, Diana. I promise. I promise. Mwah. Bye, guys. Bye-bye.